A new rotation is happening in Go Battle League from June 22nd to June 29th. We are going to be seeing the Great League and the Retro Cup. First of all, the Retro Cup, if you are not familiar with it, is going to be banning Fairy, Dark, and Steel type Pokemon. This means Pokemon like Azumarill, Galarian Stunfisk, and Registeel will not be allowed in this meta. Now, when it comes to the top picks for this meta, because we are seeing those Dark, Steel, and Fairy type Pokemon being banned, Pokemon like Walrein, Lickitung, Trevenant are starting to be the top picks that we will see. Now, this doesn't mean you guys can't have great counters to them, no pun intended, as I think today we're going to be talking about why I think fighters are going to be so crucial in this meta. Now, on PvPoke's website, you guys can filter by @counter. This will be showing all the Pokemon that have access to that fast move, and this is why I think it's going to be so strong. We know that Lickitung, Walrein, Abomasnow, Snorlax, all those Pokemon are top picks for this meta, and for good reason. But fighters, especially some of them, have access to some great charge moves that not only can it counter those tanks, but it can also counter the counters to themselves like Altaria and Trevenant. For example, Medicham with Ice Punch can do super effective damage to Trevenant and Altaria, potentially getting a shield. Defense Form Deoxys with Rock Slide can do super effective damage to Frostlass or Altaria. Lycanroc with Stone Edge and Psychic Fangs can do great damage to Altaria, Walrein, the fighters. This thing is definitely going to be one of the top picks, I think, even though it is ranked terribly. Now, you also can't count out other fighters like Blaziken or Primeape or Sirfetch'd having access to Ice Punch, Night Slash, Blast Burn, Blaze Kick, Stone Edge. These are very strong, hard-hitting charge moves that can hit super effective damage against their counters while also still being able to beat the Lickitung and Walreins in the meta. That is why I think fighters are going to be so crucial, whether you run your fighter on the lead or you run two fighters in the back. I think they will be the core for victory in the Retro Cup meta. Now, I mentioned Lycanroc being one of the most undervalued Pokemon for this meta, and I think for good reason. Counter, Stone Edge, and Psychic Fangs is great coverage on this meta. Being able to take down Abomasnow, Walrein, Lickitung, Araquanid, and Altaria, let alone being able to potentially handle Alolan Marowak, right, with Stone Edge. Frostlass with Stone Edge. Trevenant still doesn't want to see a Stone Edge, especially depending on the health. Medicham, it can debuff with the Psychic Fangs. Nidoqueen, it can do super effective damage and debuff with the Psychic Fangs. Lycanroc, I think even though it is rank 111 overall, I think is extremely undervalued, and you guys should definitely look to leverage this Pokemon against the meta. Now, you don't necessarily have to run it with Stone Edge and Psychic Fangs. You also have access to Crunch, which again will do super effective damage to Pokemon like Frostlass and Trevenant. Now, Core Breakers are always strong Pokemon that you want to consider for your team. So let's go ahead and talk about what a Core Breaker is and how you can find it. So what you can do is go to the PvPoke Team Builder section and put in the Retro Cup, and you can put in a strong core like Walrein and Trevenant. World renowned for being incredibly overpowered and extremely strong in this meta, and rightfully so. But if you head down to the potential threats section, this is where you can find Pokemon that can core break that apart. You can do this with any combination that you're seeing out there in the meta. So for example, Lickitung and Araquanid are looking like very strong core breakers to the Walrein Trevenant meta because of the normal typing and Power Whip there on Lickitung, as well as Araquanid completely walling Walrein and also doing really nice damage to Trevenant. These type of Pokemon are what you want to have on your team, maybe in the anchor position. That way it can be correctly aligned to either the Walrein in the back or the Trevenant in the back, because you're predicting that core to be very common. Now, like I said, you guys can do this with any core that you are seeing, and it's very important when you guys are doing your sets that you pay attention to what's really common that you see in the meta. Put that into the Team Builder section and look to break it apart with a core breaker that you can bring to the Retro Cup. Overall, I think this meta is looking very fun. It definitely has a wide variety of options that you guys can use, and there's going to be a lot of unique teams that you guys can bring to the Retro Cup. So I'm excited to dive into that for next week. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Best of luck in your preparation for the Retro Cup, and like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.